there was first a Jewish persecution of the church, but that soon gave way to the Roman persecution. And that Roman persecution was so great that Paul himself said that many of the teachers of the gospel in Asia had forsaken the Lord. That's quite staggering. In the churches in Asia, in fact, he uses the expression that they have all turned away. It became too hot and it became too difficult. But Paul said to Timothy, stir up God's gift in you, because the gift you have is not a spirit of fear. And it's interesting how he identifies that. Our Christian lives should never be characterized by fear. Never. Not by fear of people, not fear of organizations, not fear of governments, not fear of edicts, acts, legislation, not fear of repercussions or consequences, not fear, but the spirit of love to a dying world and to God, the spirit of power which the Lord will endow you with, and a sound mind, because the world is losing its mind. Absolutely so. And we have forgotten how to fight, partly because we have gradually allowed the Philistines to rule over us. I think I alluded to that at the beginning of our studies. Whenever Samson tries to do something, the response he gets from his own people is, the Philistines rule over us. Don't you know that? Please stop rocking the boat and antagonizing the enemy. Sometimes the Philistines can appear all right. I mean, you can get used to life, like I said. You can take your tools and get your permit and get them sharpened, and you go on, you have your food and you do your job. You don't realize what the Philistine oppression is really like. But once you see the treachery and the deceit and the evil, you look at governments today, you look at the media, and you suddenly see, oh, that's what they're like. That's what they're thinking. That's the agenda. At first, you'd never have guessed. It's all so loving, so kind, so tolerant, so gracious. And then suddenly the lion roars and you realize what the problem is. Well, Samson at the border is going to get the Israelites to say, well, things are not good. Things are very far from good. The Philistines hate us. The Philistines use us and the Philistines abuse us. They have no love for us because they have no love for our God. They are of the world and they are of the devil. The permit to sharpen the tools was just the thin edge of the wedge. And we need to recognize the world's oppression and to see where it is going. Even things like, I've said this before, but when churches insist that their own ordinance for the ministry must be accredited by institutions run by Philistines, they are playing the Philistines' games.